Organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on this Monday edition of Daily Iowan TV, a busy weekend in Iowa City saw protests in the streets and a visit from a famous journalist.
Iowa football upsets number 2 ranked Michigan.
And Iowa basketball starts off their season strong.
We've got all the biggest stories coming your way. You're watching Daily Iowan TV. Good morning, Iowa City, and thank you for tuning in to another exciting edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Becca Scadden. The past week was one of the most eventful in recent memory for our nation, and especially for Iowa City. A Hawkeye upset over Michigan this weekend brought fans running out onto the field to celebrate the victory. We'll have a full recap later in sports. This weekend also saw a visit from legendary journalist Tom Brokaw, who's donating his various historic papers and artifacts to the University of Iowa Special Collections. We have a few words from Brokaw later in the program. And the fallout of the 2016 presidential election saw protests continue into this weekend, with protesters even going as far as to block off a major Iowa interstate. And that's where we begin today. Protests have been seen almost daily here in Iowa City ever since the victory of President-elect Donald Trump in last week's presidential election. On Friday, a group of about 100 protesters marched on Interstate 80 off of Dubuque Street, effectively blocking off traffic that backed up nearly 5 miles. Protesters have expressed fears over Trump's treatment of minorities and women and show no signs of backing down.
Love Trump's hate! 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 Love Trump's hate!
There was to some point a bit of discomfort with the fact that we were so close to high-speed vehicles, but apart from that, we were, I think, very invigorated by the fact that we were actually being seen and being heard.
Despite these protests, Trump is pressing onward, having just named 2 top advisors to his administration. Republican Party Chairman Ryan Priebus will be his new chief of staff. Steve Bannon, the Trump campaign CEO and executive chairman of Breitbart News, will take the place as chief strategist and senior counselor. Trump released in a statement, "Steve and Ryan are highly qualified leaders who worked well together on our campaign and led us to a historic victory. Now I'll have them both with me in the White House as we work to make America great again." NBC correspondent Tom Brokaw's visit to the UI saw him donating papers and artifacts detailing his career of 50 years as a reporter.
I used to worry that all the big events had already happened, and it turned out not to be true. The first thing that happened in my journalistic career was that John F. Kennedy was assassinated.
This past Friday, Brokaw sat down exclusively with the Daily Iowan. He talked about how journalism as a profession is changing, as well as the influence of social media. He also shared a few of his insights on the election. If you want to check out the full interview, head over to dailyiowan.com. Brokaw wasn't the only special visit to Iowa City this weekend. With emotions high over the last week, University of Iowa students got a chance to get a little taste of home with the annual family weekend. The city was full of parents and loved ones, all excited to see their Hawkeyes. Throughout the weekend, they participated in events and activities ranging from hypnotists, family-friendly movies, and of course, the big game against number 2 Michigan. With families visiting this weekend, local bars may see an increase in the amount of waste they generated. Every weekend, bars in Iowa City use cans, plastic cups, bottles, and cardboard, and bar owners are doing their best to recycle whatever they can. Reporter Mackenzie Cooper has the story.
Every weekend, students go out to bars and drink from plastic cups, cans, and glass bottles. Iowa City bar owners are doing their best to make sure those are recycled. Nick Miller, the manager at DC, says they always start serving drinks in glass cups to reduce the amount of waste. Nick Carroll, the manager at Brothers Bar and Grill, says they try to recycle anything that they can.
Recycle bottles, get them back, keep them out of the landfill.
Nick Carroll says Brothers can recycle up to 100 cases of beer on a busy weekend. DC's manager Nick Miller says that they have a hard time finding a place to recycle all of the cardboard that they use. The downtown district and the north side businesses are currently working together to put a recycling program in action.
Trying to be good partners for the planet and help out.
So the next time you're out, make sure you recycle. Reporting from Iowa City, this is Mackenzie Cooper, Daily Iowan TV.
Well, Chris, we've seen some unseasonably warm temperatures the past couple of weeks, and I think we're all wondering, when are we going to be seeing some winter weather?
Well, Becca, much to your satisfaction and my dismay, it looks like the time of shorts and flip-flops is finally coming to an end. This morning, we are looking at some surprisingly sunny skies with a high of 57 degrees. This afternoon, the temperature will move up 62 degrees while still keeping a clear sky. And tonight, we're going to have some partly cloudy skies with a temperature of 39 degrees. Tomorrow, we are still seeing some more mild weather with a temperature around 64 degrees. Now, why don't we take a look at the extended day forecast? Wednesday, we are seeing some partly cloudy skies and a high of 63 degrees. Thursday, it's going to be a little bit sunnier and a little bit warmer with a temperature of 70 degrees. But then Friday is going to come along and bring out some light rain and a temperature of 62 degrees. Luckily, though, that rain will clear up by Saturday, but drop down to around 47 degrees. That's all we have for you at the Weather Studio. Becca, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Chris. One person enjoying the crisp fall weather this weekend a little too much was a drunken Iowa fan who seemed to think she was celebrating Iowa State. 35-year-old Michelle Keys from Ankeny, Iowa was arrested for public intoxication. But when she talked to the police, she explained that she thought she was in Ames to watch Iowa State versus Arizona football game. In fact, Iowa State has not played against Arizona since 1968. Well, we had a huge game here in Iowa City for the Hawkeyes this weekend. We have Colin and Ashlyn standing by in the sports studio with more. Guys?
Thanks, Becca. Well, Colin, it was a big upset for Iowa. The good old Iowa football is back with the run game as their main source of yards.
Yeah, definitely, Ashlyn. The running game did their part, but so did the defense in helping the Hawkeyes pull off this massive upset against Michigan.
I agree. Taylor Brooks starts our football coverage off with the Iowa City hometown hero.
It was a night for upsets all across the country in college football. One by one, top teams started to fall, and it all started with Pittsburgh upsetting number 2 Clemson, and then USC beating out number 4 Washington, and then Iowa decided to add a cherry on top of one of the most insane Saturdays and end number 3 Michigan's 9-0 perfect record. 33 yards was all that stood between Iowa winning one of the biggest games in school history.
Tyler Kluver and Ron Cluzy and the line, they do an amazing job, just tremendous all season. Right when I knew it was down, perfect hold, I felt it off my foot and I knew it went in. So
I'm just happy for Keith. That's so cool for a freshman to go out there and do that, and I'm just glad I could put him in position, me and Ron, to help him make that kick.
He did a great job. Coming down there, clutching the last, in the last couple seconds. That's going to boost his confidence, and that's what you need as a kicker.
Every ounce of faith was put into true freshman Keith Duncan, as Jim Harbaugh's icing didn't even matter.
I had a feeling he would do that, but I wasn't thinking about it. So whether we were going to snap it or get the first kickoff, I was going to kick it. Whether we get the second kickoff, I was going to kick it.
I shouldn't be up here. Keith should be up here. Keith Duncan, man, he's a phenomenal kicker. He's a better person. Deserves every bit of success. A lot of people think before a game-winning field goal, you got to go up to the kicker and say this or say that, but you just got to leave him alone. We're in no man's land to begin with, and I did my best to just get everybody kind of away from him, and he was really mature.
With this win over Michigan, it secures bowl eligibility for Iowa, but they still have to go to Illinois next weekend, and then after that, back home for their last home game against Nebraska. Reporting with the Iowa Hawkeyes inside Kinnick Stadium, this has been Taylor Brooks, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
This wasn't the first time Iowa upset Michigan while they were ranked number 2. Back in '85, the Hawks beat the Wolverines right in Kinnick with Jim Harbaugh as their quarterback.
Now, besides Keith Duncan, Iowa's defense also was a major factor in the upset on Saturday night. Mary Kate Herron has more.
As the Hawkeyes handed now number 4 Michigan their first loss of their season, the Iowa defense completely took over the game as they forced 5 3-and-outs and held them to only 201 total yards. But what completely changed the momentum of the game was defensive tackle Jaleel Johnson's 2-yard tackle for loss that resulted in a safety and put Iowa on the board.
I think that play was huge. Jaleel made an incredible play, getting penetration and making the play. It just sparked us. It just kind of made it real that we have a chance to beat these guys if we just come out and keep playing with passion and keep playing hard and just being exact in our techniques.
That definitely gave us, our team momentum.
putting some points on the board. I gave our offense some juice, to go out there and perform at their best. So.
You knew coming in, they were, second or third ranked team. You knew that you were probably going to be underdogs. We just had to come into the game, trying to be aggressive, stay off our heels, stay on our toes, and just know, anything can happen.
Well, the Hawkeyes did prove themselves on Saturday night that they are underdogs no more. So where and what was the defense doing during that winning field goal?
My back was to the I was on the sideline, kneeling down, praying. I was kind of jumping around, really antsy about it. Some guys were closing their eyes and stuff, so I wanted to watch the whole thing, and it was awesome.
Just linking arms with Mayback, just praying that it was going to go in. And then I took off and left him behind. He crippled his way somewhere. Just right now, we're just enjoying it. There's a lot of hard work that goes into being a Hawkeye. And to have this happen at Kinnick Stadium, it's incredible.
Well, adding to the many crazy things that have happened in college football this season, the Iowa defense completely shutting down Michigan, holding them to only 13 points in a season where they have averaged 48 points per game, definitely makes that list. Now, hopefully, the Hawkeyes can continue this momentum into the last 2 games of their season. Reporting from Kinnick Stadium, this has been Mary-Kate Harrion, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
As Mary-Kate said, hopefully the Hawkeyes will be able to use this as momentum as they get ready to go on the road to Champaign this Saturday.
Iowa men's basketball is officially underway for the 2016-2017 season. The Hawks got the season started with 2 games at home this weekend. Taylor Van Fleet and Katie Sextro have the recaps from Carver.
Iowa men's basketball kicked off their regular season against Kennesaw State, and this young team is off to a promising start. Peter Jock had a big night offensively with 27 points in just 26 minutes of action. Ahmad Wagner came up big defensively and had 12 points in the game. And Cordell Pemsel had an impressive night in his first game wearing a Hawkeye uniform.
I thought he was really good. I thought he picked us up when he first came in. But he was posting hard. He gave us a low post presence offensively. He missed a couple that I think he'll make.
It was definitely refreshing to know that at this level I could be comfortable playing my role.
Bob was really good. I thought, again, at both ends, energy, athleticism, scoring, shot blocking.
We're working all summer, improving that part of my game, my ball handling, my shooting, just working on everything that can help this team offensively and defensively. So I was glad I could show it tonight.
The men had a quick turnaround and played again on Sunday afternoon against Savannah State. We'll toss it to Katie Sextro, who has the recap.
Thanks, Taylor. The Hawks had no problem here at Carver on Sunday. They took care of Savannah State 116-84 and made 18 three-pointers, setting a new school record. An underclassman, Brady Ellingson, and Cordell Pemsel were a huge asset to that record and the game.
It was all confidence. We had our shoot around today, and I was shooting them there, and my main focus was just to get off the front of the rim, and I was hitting them tonight.
With every game, and especially every win, it's a step in the right direction for us, and we're trying to work hard every day in practice to gain chemistry and confidence.
We would have preferred a little more of a mixture of penetration, but we have good three-point shooters, and we were open. Our plan was to shoot a few less threes and have a few more drive the closeout, finish at the rim. I think we used really good judgment and made good shot attempts there.
Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, this is Katie Sextro for Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The men's basketball team is back in action Thursday night in Carver at 8 against Seton Hall.
Another sport that kicked off their season this weekend was Iowa wrestling. They competed at the Luther Open.
The Hawks left the tournament with 12 titles. Each weight class left with the champion in the elite bracket except for 285 pounds.
The Hawks come back home for the Iowa City Duels this Friday. That's all we have for you in the sports studio. Back to you at the desk.
Well, that's all we have for you this morning on Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check out our website, dailyiowan.com, for all the latest news, and tune in to us every weekday at 8:30 a.m. For Daily Iowan TV, I'm Becca Scadden. Have a great day, Iowa City.